And North Korea claims to have tested an upgraded large-caliber multiple rocket launch system on Tuesday. Such a provocation comes amid major diplomatic events, such as the U.S. Undersecretary's visit to Seoul and Defense Minister Ang Kyu-baek's trip to Japan scheduled for this week. For more, we have our defense correspondent Kim Bo-kyung here in the studio. Welcome back, Bo-kyung.
Thanks for having me, Tani.
Bo-kyung, why don't we start off with the North Korea's missile launches yesterday? Tell us more about the launch itself.
Right, so on Tuesday, South Korea's Joint Chiefs of Staff said North Korea fired multiple ballistic missiles toward the East Sea at around 3:50 p.m. North Korea's Central News Agency said the next day that the regime conducted a test launch of an upgraded large-caliber multiple rocket launch system, with leader Kim Jong-un personally observing the drill. The South Korean and U.S. militaries are reportedly analyzing the possibility that it was a 600mm super-large multiple rocket launcher, which North Korea also fired in May last year. Kim highlighted that the weapon had a self-steering, precise guided flight system and said it could be used for specific attacks. Now, experts say such features and the fact that the KCNA said the rocket struck a target in waters about 358.5 kilometers from the launch site shows Pyongyang is confident in its advanced technology.
It can be seen as a statement that they can overcome jamming by the South Korean and U.S. militaries. It shows confidence that they can still hit their targets, even if electronic warfare attacks are used.
Globally and in Northeast Asia, there is a trend toward deploying long-range precision strike weapons. North Korea appears to be following this trend and highlighting that it also has guided precision strike capabilities.
Ballistic missile launches marked the first provocative act in 23 days and the second this year. The first launches took place on the day President Lee Jae-myung was making a state visit to China, and it was a test of hypersonic missiles believed to be the Hwasong-11 developed by attaching hypersonic payloads to the short-range KN-23 ballistic missile series.
Now, Bo-kyung, doesn't the latest missile launch come amid many diplomatic events, does it?
Right. It came just the day after U.S. Undersecretary Elbridge Colby visited Seoul to hold talks with many South Korean officials, including Foreign Minister Cho Hyun, National Security Advisor Ri Sung-rak, and, of course, Defense Minister Ang Kyu-baek. Meeting with officials in turn, Colby expressed appreciation for South Korea's commitment as a model ally, playing a leading role in the defense of the Korean Peninsula by strengthening its own defense capabilities. Now, Colby's visit to Seoul was all the more significant as his visit came just after the U.S. released its 2026 National Defense Strategy. The NDS emphasized South Korea taking primary responsibility in deterring North Korea and designated Pyongyang as a threat alongside China, Russia, and Iran, which could have made the regime stage the provocation. Now, not just that, Defense Minister Ang Kyu-baek, as you have already told us with Birol, will hold talks with his Japanese counterpart Shinjiro Koizumi this Friday. Now, they will meet in the port city of Yokosuka to discuss regional security issues and ways to deepen defense cooperation between the two countries. The Defense Minister visit to Japan marks the first in 18 months since July 2024, and many say this hints at the full-scale launch of shuttle diplomacy in the security field amid improving South Korea-Japan relations.
So the test launch came largely for the regime to flex its muscle externally, but also perhaps for internal unity, would you say?
Right. I mean, North Korea is widely expected to convene the first ruling Workers' Party Congress for the first time in 5 years early next month. So it is highly likely that the test launch was also to boost internal unity, as you already said, before the upcoming major political gathering. Now, given that Kim was quoted as saying that the Party Congress will clarify the next stage plans for further bolstering the country's nuclear deterrent, experts say the regime will unveil the following goals regarding nukes. Listen to these.
They are likely to show that they will keep upgrading and deploying nuclear weapons on land, at sea, and in the air. They may also emphasize plans to use AI technology to build a more advanced nuclear force.
North Korea will try to modernize both nuclear and conventional weapons and use them together in actual combat.
So all in all, major policies on nukes will be something to look at during the Party Congress.
Indeed. Bo-kyung, thank you for the comprehensive wrap-up. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you.